So this presentation is going to be about teaching the whole child. Treating and teaching students not only individually but holistically is important in order to become a successful and productive teacher. There are a number of key factors to be considered in order to do so, including classroom setup, student and teacher relationship, student well-being, and theories and perspectives used in the classroom. What is behaviorism? There are two main theories of behaviorism: classical conditioning and operant conditioning. In the 1980s, Pavlov was conducting experiments on salivating dogs when he slowly created the theory of classical conditioning. Summarized, classical conditioning describes and attempts to control the natural and learned responses to stimuli. In this example, the food causes salivation, the bell is no response. The bell plus food equals salivation. Eventually, after conditioning, the bell will cause salivation as well. So how do we use this in teaching? Classical conditioning can be used in the classroom to gain the attention or even train students to complete a task or a behaviour without you having to scream or constantly repeat instructions. For example, clapping plus the teacher telling students to sit down, students will sit down. Clapping eventually will lead to students just sitting down by themselves. Operant conditioning, developed by B.F. Skinner, is a theory used in an attempt to explain why society behaves in a certain way. There are two key components to operant conditioning. The first one is reinforcement. Positive reinforcement means the desired outcome occurs after the behaviour. For example, praise after an employer did a good job. Negative reinforcement means the removal of undesired outcome after the behaviour occurs. For example, opening up an umbrella when the rain is falling. The second is punishment. Positive punishment means the undesired outcome is presented when a behaviour is completed. For example, a student is told off because their phone went off during class. Negative punishment means the desired outcome is taken away due to behaviour. Reinforcement increases the likelihood of behaviour being repeated, and punishment decreases the likelihood of behaviour being repeated. So how can we use this in the classroom? Operant conditioning is one of the many ways in which to attempt to control and change behaviour within the classroom. Reward, especially intermittent rewards and reinforcements, is an effective way to give students motivation to change their behaviour within the classroom. For example, teachers can use a point system within the classroom. Students will receive points for doing well. Now we're going to talk about the classroom. The classroom environment should be appealing, comfortable, safe and engaging for all students. Some factors that should be considered are lighting, layout, temperature and colours. Creating an engaging classroom means fewer distractions for the students and encouragement for student participation. The layout of a classroom can dramatically affect the way children learn within the classroom and heavily impact the academic results of those students. Although there is much debate about what type of classroom layout, closed or more open, is more effective, is at the children's discretion to make the room colourful, inviting, engaging and safe. Children should feel a sense of warmth and comfort when they enter the classroom. For example, children's work can be hung around the classroom so they feel as if it's their own. Desk arrangement is also important. Less attentive students work better when seated in rows. However, each classroom will be different and therefore the teacher's discretion must be used. Now we're going to talk about Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner once said, "Anything that is worth teaching can be presented in different ways. These multiple ways can make use of our multiple intelligences." The multiple intelligences include linguistic, logical, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, bodily, and spatial. Using this in the classroom means to take a subject and teach it in a number of different ways. For example, maths, spatial learning through mind mapping, bodily learning through creating numbers using the body, and musical learning through a times table song. Although this was only a brief and limited presentation, it showed some key factors and theories that can be used in order to teach more holistically. The layout and the classroom setup is essential in order for students to feel safe and respected. Theories and perspectives should be chosen carefully to suit the students you are teaching.
Created using Powtoon.